Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of What Makes You Shine. My name is Steph Lloyd and I'm a natural healthcare practitioner, and in my work I empower and guide my clients to find their shine. As there are so many amazing people out there who dedicate their life to guide others to find their shine, I thought I would gather them all in one place for you. So if you want to hear about amazing techniques and modalities to help you find your shine, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification. Today, I'm speaking to the lovely Leanne Jones. Leanne is the founder and proud owner of LeAnanda Yoga and Therapy Studio in Wimborne. After a difficult time in her life, she discovered yoga and felt it was a mission to bring this to others. She practices, I'm going to make a mess of this, Jiva Mukti Yoga, which is a form of Hatha Yoga and uses a homeopath to chant and bring together collective space. So, hi Leanne.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I've made a mess of it. Tell me more about Jiva Mukti. Is that how you say it?
You got it right. Yeah, pretty much. It says Jiva like diva, and then Mukti like no other word. But don't worry, nobody ever gets it right, so it's fine. It's just like LeAnanda as well. No one can ever say that right. So you got that right too, I think, didn't you? So it's LeAnanda, which is my name, Leanne, and then the word Ananda put together, which makes sense, right?
It
but
totally
yeah, no one can
makes
ever
sense.
say it, so it's fine.
So tell us how you got to where you are today, and a little bit more about your journey.
Okay, so I found yoga at a pretty crappy time in my life. I was working in London. I had a corporate buying job. And don't get me wrong, I love my job, but it was really not good for my mental health. I was working really long hours, and it just kind of took its toll, really. I ended up moving from one company to another, and the culture was horrendous, and I ended up being signed off with stress and depression. And I had a day in the office where I left, and I almost had a panic attack in the car, and I was like, I was driving around the M25, and I was like, right, I'm just going to drive my car off the road because the world will be a better place without me. It was bad. So I got home and went to the doctors straight away, like floods of tears, and and signed me off and put me on a set of antidepressants and sent me for some counselling, and that helped. And I think at the time, I can't remember who it was, but somebody said, why don't you try yoga? And I was already going to gym and doing spinning, and I could afford this lovely gym membership. So I thought, okay, let's give it a try. And at first class, honestly, I was just like, oh my God, why have I never done this before? It was just like me time. It was like time to just, couldn't describe it. It was just time to relax, time to just come back home to myself and just look after myself. So I pretty much knew straight away from that first class, I was like, right, I've got to do this. This is magic. I've got to do more of this, and I've got to share it with people because everybody needs to know about it. So then I kind of carried on my antidepressants and counselling, and eventually came off those quite quickly through the yoga, really. Did my foundation course in yoga and then my teacher training, which I started in about 2011, I think. And then within that, so my teacher, Andrea, is a advanced certified Jiva Mukti teacher, and she kept talking about Jiva Mukti yoga, and I was like, what's this all about? So I went along to a couple of her classes, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to do this one too. So then I went and did the Jiva Mukti training, which don't massively believe in things being as they're meant to be. And it was the first time they'd ever done this training in the UK. You normally have to go to the States or Costa Rica to do the training, but they were doing it in Wimborne. And I'm like, I'm from Dorset, like it was totally meant to be. So so I did that month intensive training with them, and that changed my world even more, like next level changed my world. So I have my teachers, they're up on the just above me on the altar to say thank you to for that.
Amazing.
That was that really. And then I kind of I ended up just going teaching full time in London, and then I got pregnant with my first daughter, and I was like, I'm not having kids in London. I don't want to raise them there. So we moved back home in 2014, and sort of I've been a mum, stroke yoga teacher, stroke everything since then. Just rebuilding my life down here, and yeah,
amazing. So
that's kind of it. My studio last year.
Yeah, so the Jivamukti, like you said, is a form of hatha. So it's very much about connecting. Tell us a bit more about, I mean, because I've been to your classes, they are just amazing, and and your chanting is also amazing. I hope you're going to be able to give us a little chant today.
Yeah, right. So Jivamukti Yoga is a path to enlightenment through compassion for all beings, and like you said, it is a form of hatha yoga. It's very much vinyasa, flowing sequence. So the postures are coordinated with the breath, and it becomes like a moving meditation. And it's challenging as well. So there are 5 tenets which hold up, which are the kind of the pillars of the Jivamukti method. The first one is ahimsa, which is non-harming, vegan or vegetarian diet, that kind of thing. Bhakti, devotion, so devotion to the highest, to the heart, whatever you want to call it. Sastra, so studying of the scriptures and the texts. Meditation, and nada. So nada yoga is like deep listening. It's about the music as well that we play in class. So the music in a Jivamukti class really varies. It could be opera, it could be reggae, it could be, I've had Foo Fighters in my playlist this month, and but it kind of leads and sets the tone for the class. And
when you pull
all of those.
Yeah, the music, when I come to your classes, it really, you say, it really sets the tone. It really, and
it can really evoke emotions, and it sets the beat, it sets the rhythm. It just sets everything. And then of course, not all Jivamukti teachers play the harmonium, but then we chant using the harmonium. Let me just show you.
Show us the harmonium. It's an amazing instrument.
Yes. Yeah. So that's my baby. I'm not very good at playing it, but I play a handful of things which I really love.
We're struggling with the sound today, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to hear the instrument, but you are very good. You can really take us somewhere else during those. So how about a little bit of singing for us? Can you?
Okay, all right. So the mantra that we sing and chant in Jivamukti Yoga, again, which is really our sort of mantra, is Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. I've got it tattooed on my arm in Sanskrit, actually. And it means, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. May my thoughts, my words, and my actions contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom of all. So every time you chant that, and every time you practice that, when even when I wake up in the morning, I just sort of say it to myself, and make my day, contribute to the happiness and freedom of all. Then that's just such a lovely, holy, and uplifting intention. And really the essence of what I'm trying to bring to my studio. So, okay, you ready?
I'm so ready. I love this. Thank you.
Just start with an Om. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
Thank you.
There we go. Just 2 rounds.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Coming out of your class, I'm always singing this, like, you know, for the rest of the day. It's just so uplifting and tingly everywhere. It's really heartfelt, and
it is. Yeah.
So good. So tell us more. So that's the studio behind you.
Yep. My lovely beams and my fairy lights.
And the energy in there is amazing. I did breath work the other night with the lovely Lottie, so that was amazing. Yeah. So tell us what's going on at LeAnanda. What else have we got?
So we're really just building classes. We've got yoga classes. So I teach like a general hatha class, which tends to be more beginner focused. But I do have some practitioners that have been practicing for 20 odd years. Some people maybe have injuries or other things that they're working with. So it tends to be a slower pace, and we can use props and things to support the body. I mean, by props, I mean like yoga blocks and bricks and things like that. What's really key, especially in Jivamukti yoga and everything that I bring, is, you know, you need to have a good connection to the earth. So if you can't touch your toes or you can't touch the earth, then bring the earth to you. So, you know, so it's firm, it's grounded, and you feel strong. So there's quite a lot of emphasis on that in my classes. And then we have a Zen Flow class with Hayley, and Hayley's lovely. So hers is still a Hatha class, just with a different name, but she's very much works in tune with the seasons and nature and the moon cycles and stuff like that. So she brings that element to her classes on a Tuesday night. And then we've got obviously the lovely Lottie as well on a Tuesday with her breathwork classes, which seem to be a massive hit, which is wonderful. Obviously we do breathwork as part, and pranayama as part of yoga classes as well, but to have a whole hour session dedicated to breathwork is great. And that's really important about what I'm trying to bring to the studio, is having variety on offer. So but part of my healing, you know, like I said, it was yoga, it was counseling. I've had, you know, I use acupuncture a lot, homeopathy a lot. Thank you, Steph, for that. And even hypnotherapy, reflexology when I was pregnant.
Diet.
So yeah, all sorts of stuff have led me to leading a happier, healthier life. So I want to bring that to this space. So then what else do we have?
I think when you start this journey at looking after yourself and you start doing mindful movement like yoga, then suddenly your core and your body start saying, what else? I want more to feel good, and you start looking after yourself better and eating better and making better choices, and that just taking the time to yourself, just to turn up to a class sometime, I think, because that's the difficult thing to start, isn't it? When you've never done yoga, you think, well, I'm not really supple, I'm not going to be able to get into those crazy poses, you know what, I'm not going to go and make a show of myself in a yoga class. So like, what do you want to say to the people who've never tried it, who feel they would like to?
Honestly, yeah, yoga is for everyone, and the teachers that we have here, you know, are well qualified, sort of handpicked for their qualifications. I know that they can look after people in that way, and like I said, you know, there's always a way to do the practice even if you can't touch your toes. And you know, I had a lovely lady last night who said, you know, just come into yoga class. She said, oh, I really wanted to just sit in and watch put my pajamas on and watch the telly, but I made myself go to class and I feel so much better. And she's only been coming a couple of months. And then I had another lady the other day who came. She ended up having a one-to-one because she was the only person in the class for whatever reason. You know, some people cancelled and this, that, and the other. And she said,
And
Yeah,
maybe the
absolutely.
universe
Yeah.
delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. The universe aligned so that we could do the practice together. And she said, right, Leanne, I want to do a crow pose by Christmas. And crow pose is balancing on your hands. And we had her in crow pose by the end of the session,
Amazing.
So it's, and again, she's been practicing sort of on and off for a while, but never consistently. So it's really, really possible. And it's all just about mindset, and we'll chuck in some challenging poses because it gets you to change your mind and your way of thinking about yourself and lifts your confidence. And yeah, sometimes you might walk out and go, oh God, I'm shit at that, and but we teach you, just let it go, turn up, do the practice, see what shows up for you today, and then let it go, start again.
And just being in that hour of breath, I think, just breathing in and out. I mean, even if you're in child pose the whole time, you'd get a benefit from it, wouldn't you? Apart from you're not really pushing yourself. You're not going to let us do that, though, are you, Leanne?
No. Unless I'm knackered.
But what I mean is that, just being in that space, being in that environment, being with everybody as well, everybody's energy and everybody taking the time and breathing, mindfully breathing.
Absolutely, yeah. People, I think, have no idea how to breathe properly and no idea how to, that
I had to learn.
You can just drop into your breath and and all of a sudden everything changes.
Because I used to breathe up there. I didn't even know I was, my autonomic nervous system was just doing the work and I just let it. And then when you start learning to breathe, it's a whole different thing, isn't it? And you can use it every day.
Changer. And then when you then combine it with the movement and you flow and you move with your breath, it's suddenly, an hour's gone by and you're like, you were just in that space and there was no shopping list, there was no school runs, there was no stress, you're just in it, in your body, in yourself, and it's just the most beautiful thing. But it takes time. It does take time. I'm not, I couldn't say that's going to happen in your first class, but
you might find a little bit of extra space, just breathing, just taking the right breath. Sometimes you go, oh, I can go a little bit further because I'm not forcing it. I'm not trying to achieve. I'm just letting go. It's letting go, isn't it? Surrendering to the pose, surrendering to the body, letting the body know, and I find that some time of the month, depending on my cycle or the moon or whatever, I can be a lot more supple. And some I'm like, I'm not going to push myself. This is quite tight. And there's a reason. What else is going on in our lives?
100%. 100%. But even like a simple, like lifting your arms with your breath, like inhale, and then inhale right to your fingertips, and you can't breathe to your fingertips, but if you send your intention up there, you can reach your breath a little bit higher and a little bit fuller, and then you go breathe the breath all the way out to the very bottom of your breath. Just by coordinating the breath with the movement, it can help the breath grow up and down, round, inside out, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It
is. So it really is for everyone. You don't have to do these strong, crazy poses. Like I said, just my gentle class on a Wednesday, we often will just sit and kind of do this kind of thing and work with the breath. And the thing that just lights me up, the thing that makes me shine, as you say, is at the end of class when everybody comes out of relaxation and they open their eyes and their eyes are just juicy, and we've got this word in Sanskrit which is pushti, which means nourished or well fed. So you can see people's eyes are like, oh, I've fed myself with breath and goodness and movement, and then they float out of the studio, and that's just like, I'm winning, I've done my job.
Done.
So
and you feel taller when you come out of a yoga class. You feel calmer, you feel more grounded. You felt, and also the way you are guided by yourself or the teacher, whoever, and being taken care of. We're not being taken care of very often once we've grown out of childhood, where, you know, so you know, and that's really nice that, you know, and you use this card as well, that so you give people the option, you know, do you want me to come and adjust? Tell us about that.
Yeah, 100%. Just a standard old pack of playing cards we use for consent. So a lot of what I do, and some of the other teachers as well, will use our hands and touch, the power of touch, to, we don't call it adjustments, we call it assist. So we're assisting the flow of energy. So it might be just like a little guidance here, because maybe you didn't think that your body could go there, but with a little bit of touch, oh, actually, yeah, my body can go there, you know. And that's really, for people as well, that can be like, wow, I didn't know that I could do that, you know. And then what we also do at the end of class is we use some different lotions to do a little head massage. So when you're in relaxation, it smells divine. And you just, you know, it's just a little massage over the head, around the back of the head, and a little press on the shoulders. And you know, the amount of people, even by the end of class, they're lying like this because they're so tense, but you come around and just go like that on their shoulders, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, like you say, like they haven't been touched or taken care of for such a long time. And that's like a really important thing that we do. Just give people permission just to relax, to let go, you know.
And to give themselves permission to let go, because sometimes we're our own worst enemies, where, oh, I've just got to keep going, I haven't got time to go to yoga, you know, I haven't got time to breathe. You know, we don't give ourselves the time to just be, do you know what, actually I really deserve this.
Yeah, 100%. So I take my hat off to anyone that walks in the studio, you know. And some people they'll send me a text that, I'm really sorry, I can't make it tonight, da, 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 da. I'm like, it's fine, you don't need to apologize. I know life gets in the way, and I know that you'll be here next week, and you just do your best, and that's that. But you know, like even last night, I had one of my regulars, she joined on Zoom because she had a sore throat. She's like, I don't want to miss it, I've got a sore throat, I'm just going to do my best.
Oh, great. So you can do that as well. So are your classes recorded and then people can join on Zoom?
They're not recorded at the moment.
Live.
But they're live. Yeah, they're live stream. So mine and Hayley's classes are at the moment, and we'll probably be adding some more as we add to the timetable. So you can see all of that on the website. Just choose either in person or online.
Tell us the website again.
It's www.leanandayoga.com.
Fabulous. And
so if you type in yoga in Wimborne, I'm the first one I think that comes up.
Great. Google, and I will put it on the description underneath this video as well. So,
thank you.
And tell us what, you know, you've got therapies there as well.
Yes, we've got a second room. Again, all part of me feeling like it's not just yoga that's going to aid healing, and not every path is right for you. So it's about finding the teacher. It's about finding the things that work for you, you know. So we have hypnotherapist Susie on a Wednesday. She does all sorts of packages for healthy body, healthy mind. She does an anxiety package. She does a stop smoking package. She does just as individual sessions. And then we've got a reflexologist who comes in. I'm hoping to get a counsellor, a sports massage therapist, hopefully starting soon. We've got Reiki, we've got women's circles, we've got Reiki share. So we've got a meditation group as well. So mindful meditation sangha that meet every couple of weeks. And that's just a donation-based session. So, you know, that really doesn't cost anything, just to show up and be in a group.
And that helps as well. I think starting, you know, again, the start of anything is quite difficult. So sometimes having other people to be accountable for and share, you know, that's quite important, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm still looking for more therapists and healers to help me with that that part of the studio and the therapy. So if there's anyone out there, then do get in touch.
Yeah, or get in touch with me and I'll put you in touch with Leanne.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, what a wonderful place you have created for us and for, you know, for the people of around Wimborne and Wimborne area. You know, it's really easy to get. There's lots of parking outside, which is, you know, it's easy to find, and it's just a magical place. Just amazing.
And there's a lovely Cappuccino coffee shop next door.
Oh yeah, lovely coffee shop as well.
Their sort of ethos is on mental health and mental well-being, and so that's a nice place to stop for a coffee after class. And the Wolfer Mill Craft Centre as well. It's just really beautiful to just go and sit around there as well. So yeah, we're in a good place, and I feel very lucky to have found what I found when I found it.
It was the perfect place for you, Leanne. It really was.
Absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank
you
you
for taking the time and out of your busy schedule as a mum and as a yoga teacher and everything else. And I look forward to being in your lovely studio with you. And anyone that has any question, don't hesitate to contact either Leanne or myself, or the instructor will be in the description underneath. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Keep up the good work, Steph.
Thank you. Speak soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.